right, guys, welcome back to Coffee to Cigars. We are back with another episode of Coffee. I'm gonna go into that in a second. I was actually gonna do cigars today, but then I went and got my Botox touched up and I realized that I can't smoke after I do my Botox. So next episode, I promise we're gonna do cigars, promise. But for today, we're gonna do coffee instead. Again, I just went to the grocery store, kind of looked around and grabbed something that I thought looked cool, which is where we came up with Kicking Horse Coffee, right here, Kicking Horse Coffee. So this particular roast is their kick-ass roast. So I don't know if you can see that. I'll put an image up on the screen if you can't actually read that here. But you can see why that would catch my attention, right? They have several different blends that are like that. But it's saying that this is organic whole bean coffee dark roast, sweet, smoky, and audacious. You gotta love that. You gotta love that, right? So before we go into this even more, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends. Now remember, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna test this coffee, and then we're gonna go into some fitness questions that have been sent in, things about your diet, your training, all of those kinds of things, and just give you some tips and tricks that you can apply to your everyday life. So before we do that, I figured I'd pull up this Kicking Horse Coffee website, which is, it's on their packaging. Here it is, kickinghorsecoffee.com. And I'll talk a little bit about who they are. Now again, when we go into stuff like this, I am not affiliated with this company at all. But at the same time, if I'm using their products, you know, I just wanted to kind of give them a little bit of props. So I pulled up their website here. Let's just kind of go through this. It's cute. I like how they do their marketing. So that if you go to the About on their website, it says, where to begin? How about here? Over 25 years ago, we started roasting coffee in a garage out in the Canadian Rocky Mountains, pretty much near the middle of nowhere. That was then. Fast forward to today, and a lot is still the same. What's changed? The garage is a little bigger now. You roast quite a bit more coffee. We seem to be adding more and more folks to our kick-ass crew, and now some people have called us the best place to work in Canada. What's the same? Last we checked, the Rockies are still right outside the front door. We still take breaks to go play in the backyard, and as always, the beans are nothing but 100% kick-ass. That's our story. Now, here's the legend. Way back when, a Rocky Mountain explorer got kicked in the head by a horse. His traveling compadres thought he was dead and started digging a grave. But whoa, legend has it, he was woken up by a kick-ass cup of coffee. Couldn't make this stuff up. Actually, they said stuff. I'm assuming they didn't want to cuss on their website. Now, let's have some coffee. So the one that I grabbed, the kick-ass coffee, let's go ahead and find that on here. If there's something worth doing, we think it's worth doing great. I like that philosophy. I say that every day. This remarkable blend of beans is the spirit of Kicking Horse Coffee and a bold invitation to wake up and kick ass with us. Attributes. It's got low acidity, dark roast. Love me a dark roast. Its body is almost full. They actually have a lot of information on the website, which is cool. Aroma, smoky, sweet vanilla, and dark chocolate. Okay, I like that. Tasting notes, chocolate malt, molasses, licorice, and an earthy, lingering finish. Origin, Indonesia, Central and South America. Recommended brew methods, French press, drip, and pour over. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a French press, but let's open it up. Let's see if I'm able to do this correctly, because I clearly wasn't able to the first time. All the things that I can't figure out how to do, how to open up the actual coffee bag. Oh, this one actually has marks for scissors on it, so it's not just me. So I'm gonna go open this up. I'll be right back. Okay, so as soon as I cut into this bag, whew, that powerful smell. I love a dark roast. All right, here we go. Oh, that's strong. Woo. That's very bold, very, very bold. I can absolutely tell it's smoky. I understand why they're saying it's audacious. Audacious, that's a good word. I love that word. That's a great word. Audacious, smoky, and sweet. There's like a tinge of that sweetness in there, but it's really smoky. It's really, really smoky. So this is gonna be a very bold coffee. I can tell already. I'm gonna go ahead and do my French press, get it all put together. We'll come back and taste it. And then we'll get into some questions once we got some caffeine fueled through us. Sound good? All right, let's go. Okay, so I just made my French press. Got it sitting here. Have not tried it yet. Let's give it a go. It's a dark roast. Oof, dark, dark. All right, so I also thought it was about time I start pulling out my fun coffee mugs too, especially since this is kick-ass coffee. I thought I needed a I'm fucking magical unicorn. Felt it went pretty well together. Again, if you watch my Insta stories, you know that I show off my coffee mugs every day. So this is just kind of like my thing. It's my thing. So anybody's looking to get me a Christmas gift, fun coffee mugs, always do it for me, always. So anyway, okay, let's get to tasting. You know, it's funny. I just took a whiff, a big whiff. It was almost like, I hate to say it like this because I don't know if it sounds right, but it's almost like a spaghetti sauce. Like, have you ever had like a really roasted, like homemade spaghetti sauce? That's the first thing that I thought of when I got this whiff. It's very dark, very bold. So if you're not into bold coffees, this probably isn't your thing. You guys know I'm really into dark roast and bold coffee. So for me, it's great. So I don't know what the caffeine content is on this. I'm wondering if I can do a little search and see what that is. But it tastes like it's gonna give me a kick in the ass. It does. It tastes like it's gonna give me a kick-ass buzz from this caffeine. So I'm gonna sip on it while we're doing the fitness questions I have for you guys for today, and we'll see how high of a buzz I get. But it is very strong, very, very strong. Like, it almost reminds me of as if it's an espresso, and it's not. It's just it's a pour over, or sorry, French press. Pour over, we could do that at some point too. If anybody wants to know what a pour over is, drop it in the comments. We could do a pour over at some point. That's something y'all can do at home too. So drop it in the comments if you want to see a pour over. There you go. Okay. Anyway, this is one of those, because I like strong coffees, this is one of those coffees that I would 100% brew in the morning when I need like a good jolt to get me going in the day, because that's what it feels like it's going to do. Like, we talked about that Thanksgiving blend last week and how it was more like a dessert. It goes with your pumpkin pie kind of thing. This is breakfast. This is like before you have breakfast. If you're that person that needs a cup of coffee before you even start your day, before you have breakfast, before you do anything, if you need to sit down and have your coffee, that's me, by the way. The first thing I do is coffee. This is it right here. This is it. So the fact that I'm doing this in the afternoon is probably going to fuel the rest of my day, which is good. I still have a lot of work to do. So that's one of the reasons why I'm shooting this right now. I got a lot of work to do this afternoon. Hopefully this helps. Okay, so I'm a fan. I like strong coffees though. So like I said, if you don't like strong coffees, this may not be your thing. For me, fantastic. I'm all about it. Let's do it. So, okay, so with that, let's go into a few questions. I've got a few I'm going to go over with you guys today, kind of deep dive into them. One of them is from one of my check-ins with my client this week. I thought it was pretty cool, and so we'll talk about what's going on with her. First one is, this is a really, really common question if you're just getting started in training and diet, things like that. There's a lot of misinformation out there, so I'm going to deep dive into this one a little bit more than what probably most people say. So here it is. Which one is better for weight loss, cardio or lifting weights? My coach told me I need to lift, but I don't feel like I'm burning anything, and I just feel like my workouts aren't hard enough if I don't run and pour down sweat. So sweat does not equal effort, if that makes sense. Or it does equal effort, but it does not equal result. How about that? Just because you're putting in that sweat equity, that sweat effort, does not mean you are creating the best results. Now, a well-rounded fitness plan is going to have both weight training and cardio in it. But if you have to do one or the other, the one that's going to be best for you is going to be weight training. Now, the thing that I think that hopefully we're getting better about dispelling this myth that if you lift weights, you're going to get bulky. As a female, you are not going to get bulky from weights, especially if you're not trying to do that. The people that get bulky from doing weights as women are ones that are trying to get bulky, okay? Muscle is the fountain of youth. Muscle is the fountain of youth, okay? The only way that you gain muscle is by lifting. So when you go into the gym and you train, initially you're not going to get the biggest benefit from weight training as far as caloric burn is concerned. Like if you wear a watch or something like that and you're watching your watch, your caloric burn is going to be higher typically when you're doing higher intensity cardio, that kind of thing. But the difference is that what cardio does is it helps you to burn body fat versus weight training helps you to build muscle. When you build muscle, that creates working tissue in your body. The way I look at it is lean muscle mass tissue is working tissue. That is the tissue on your frame that is working for you, that is using food, burning calories, continuing your health and longevity. Those are the things that are keeping you young. Those are the things that are keeping you healthy. Those are the things that are keeping you pushing forward in your lifestyle. All of those things. That's working tissue. Stuff like body fat is not working tissue. It's just sitting there. Okay, so when you go into the gym and you train or you do cardio, if you do cardio, you're gonna burn body fat. You're gonna burn body fat. You're gonna do that, okay? So you're getting rid of tissue that's not working for you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a really good thing. You wanna do cardio. You wanna get rid of some of that body fat that way. But when you weight train, you're burning body fat as well, a little bit of body fat, but you're gaining tissue that's working for you when you're outside of the gym. So when you have muscle on you that's working for you outside of the gym, what is it doing? It's burning that body fat for you. When you have tissue on your frame that is working for you, it's like you go to work, let's say you own a business, those employees are doing the work in the business for you when you're at home with your family. Your muscles are your employees on your body, okay? So the more muscle that you have, the better your body is going to work for you, even when you're not doing anything. Even when you're just sitting there on your ass, having some kick-ass coffee, even when you're just sitting there on your ass, your muscle is working for you. That's the main difference. So you want to try to gain and maintain muscle as best as you possibly can. That's what's going to keep you healthy long-term. One of the biggest reasons why people pass as they get older, as they get elderly, is from falls. The reason why they fall is because they have lack of muscle tissue and they create an injury that leaves them sedentary where they can't move, things like that, and their body just starts to deteriorate, just starts to go to nothingness. And that's what eventually makes them pass away. If you have muscle mass on your body to brace you from a fall, to help you recover from a fall, things like that, you're going to stay healthy longer and you're going to not have a life-threatening issue from a slip, from a broken hip or something like that. You ever notice that? Like a lot of elderly people will break a hip when they fall and then it's just downhill from there. The more muscle mass that you have on your body, the longer your lifespan is going to be, period, bar none. We have a girl that we've worked with in the cutie community for years. She ended up getting Guillain-Barré syndrome from flu vaccine, went into a coma. I can't remember exactly how long she was in a coma for. I want to say it was like 6 weeks. I could be wrong on that. I want to say it was 6 weeks. But she did come out of the coma. She's recovered. She's recovering as we speak. And the doctors told her that the reason why she survived the coma was because she had so much muscle mass on her that her body actually used that muscle to stay alive. She was a pro figure competitor. She had a lot of muscle mass on her frame. And because she had that on her frame during that coma, her body used the muscle to stay alive. That's what muscle does for you. And that's why weight training will always trump cardio. If you have to do one or the other, weight training is absolutely the way to go. Now, cardio is great too. Don't get me wrong, we want cardio too. But like I said, if you've got enough muscle mass on your frame, you're not gonna have to do as much cardio and you're gonna get just as good, if not better results. Okay, so hopefully that helps to explain that a little bit better, because I get that a lot from girls that come to work with me. They think that they need to go into the gym and just like run on the treadmill for an hour in order to get in shape, and that's just not the case. It's just not the case. You don't need to do all that, okay? So that goes into the next question, which is, do I need to do fasted cardio to drop body fat? And the answer is no, you do not. Right? We talked about this a little bit the last time. This has been just like bro science over the years, how people just start doing something and they just kind of keep doing it because it was working. They don't really have a reason behind it. They don't have a reason why they're doing it. It's just worked, so they're continuing to do it. That's fasted cardio, okay? So it's not to say that fasted cardio doesn't work. It does, it absolutely does. And if you like fasted cardio, go for it. You know, like we talked about the last episode, it's about how you're, you know, when you're gonna do it. If you're gonna do it, that way's the way you're gonna get it done, do it that way, right? But when it comes to the difference between fasted cardio and fed cardio, there is no difference in the amount of fat that you actually burn. Everything else being equal, your effort, all those kinds of things being equal, fasted versus fed cardio, there is no benefit to doing fasted. There's no benefit to doing fasted. Now, for you personally, again, if it's something that you enjoy, if it's something that for you is gonna help you do it more often and be consistent with it, that's completely different. Go for fasted, right? Personally, I put more effort into it when I've had food in my system. That's when I put more effort into my cardio. So what I do is I usually do my cardio at night, gonna be honest, because I've said this before, that's just for me when it works the best. But what I'll do is I'll have a meal and I let it digest for about an hour. I'll get some more work done, that kind of thing. And that's when I go hit my cardio. Because at that point, it's not sitting in my stomach anymore, my food that I just ate, but I am processing the energy from that food that I can use to then go do my cardio. So that's what works best for me. Now again, if you're gonna get up in the morning and doing your cardio first before anything else is the way that you want to do it, there's nothing wrong with that. But scientifically speaking, doesn't make a difference. Does not make a single difference. Do it however you want as long as you do it, okay? And for our final question today. This one is from one of my clients with her check-in today, okay? She said, I'm finding it strange that I don't suddenly need the knee brace that I used to use when I worked out at home. I still wear it on leg day, but I don't rely on it. When I worked out at home, my knee would bother me, but now that I work out in the gym, I use it, but I don't really need it. Why is this? Now, this particular client's been working with me for just over 12 weeks. She has made massive changes to her overall body composition. I mean, huge. Like, doesn't even look like the same person. Up until this past week, her weight had actually gone up a little bit. That said, you look at her frame and she's clearly put on muscle and dropped body fat. Now, when we first started working together, she mentioned how she works out at home. And I said, you know, that's fine, we can do that. I said, I would really prefer that you try to get a gym membership, you know, go in a couple of times a week, you know, make it part of your schedule, make it part of your routine. You're just gonna find a different environment. If you don't like it, that's fine. You can go back to working out at home. So she got herself a gym membership and she loved it. Like, loved it. Loved going to the gym, loved the intensity, loved the energy, loved that, just loved the whole gym atmosphere and environment, which I thought was amazing. So I really think that's one of the reasons why her body composition has changed so much, because she really, truly enjoys going to the gym. So she checked in this week and she's down quite a few pounds actually from last week. And you know, this is a whole other topic, but I kind of call this like the whoosh effect. It's not a technical term. It's just something that I call this particular thing. She's been doing the same thing for several weeks and we see her body composition change, but the scale hasn't actually changed yet. This past week, the scale changed. It went and dropped. It was a significant drop. So she had that whoosh this week, right? And what I said the reason why it's easier for you to train now at the gym without the knee brace is because you're dropping weight. There's not as much pressure on your joints. There's not as much pressure on your knees. When you have extra body fat and extra weight on your body that you should not be holding, you feel it in your joints. It puts a lot of strain and stress on your knees. People don't realize how much, like, I don't know the exact term. I will look this up and I'll put a little note up here because I can't think of it off the top of my head. But for every pound of body weight that you lose, I think it takes like 5 pounds of pressure off of your knees, something along that line. Again, I'll correct myself and put it up here if it's different. But I think it's every 1 pound of body weight takes 5 pounds of pressure off your knees. So as you're dropping weight, your joints are gonna feel better. Again, going back to the longevity aspect. It's not just about being skinny. It's not just about fitting better in your clothes. It's about feeling better. It's about feeling better day to day, and just with basic things like just walking around. You're gonna feel better. Your joints aren't gonna hurt as much, you know, all those kinds of things. So this was unbeknownst to her, this is a side effect that is awesome. Like, she's actually feeling better in general, but she didn't realize that this is what was happening because she's dropping the weight. So I thought that was fantastic. So get in there, get into the gym, train, right? Put the effort in. She's been doing fantastic on her macros. She's been doing fantastic with her workouts, and it's showing. Not only is it showing in her photos, but it's showing in just how she feels every day, which I think is amazing. So, okay, so that's our whole segment for today. As I said, I was going to do cigars today. However, just got Botox done, so can't smoke right now. So next episode, I promise we'll go into cigars. And I'll show you how to actually smoke a cigar if you've never done it before, because it can be a little bit intimidating, I think. Just like when I showed you how to do the French press here. And like I said, if you want to see what a pour over is, go ahead and drop that in the comments. Drop into the comments any questions that you have that you'd like me to dive into. And you know, we're almost through prep now. I've got a couple of weeks till my last show, which means we can start doing some food pairings with coffee too. So we had several people that wrote in and dropped comments saying that they wanted to see food pairings, so we'll start doing that too. We got the holidays here, perfect time to do all that. So with that, I hope you guys have had a fantastic week so far. Definitely go check out the Kicking Horse Coffee. Get yourself some kick-ass coffee. Like that plug, like that plug. So other than that, you guys, I hope you've had a great week. Like, comment, subscribe as usual, and always drop into the comments what you're thinking, what questions you have for me, and I would be happy to answer. And have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.